The homicide investigation into 3 bodies discovered in a burnt-out car on Monday in the community of Sage Hill continues. Yesterday, Tuesday, July 11th, 2017, Calgary police identified 2 of the victims of the vehicle fire as Glynnis Fox, age 36, and Cody Pfeiffer, age 25. A third victim had been tentatively identified, and police are seeking public assistance to locate the registered owner of the 2011 Chevy Cruze. The registered owner is a 26-year-old Hanock Afowerk. An autopsy on the third victim recovered from the car is ongoing, and police are unable to confirm her identity at this time. The 3 victims of the car fire represent Calgary's 13th, 14th, and 15th homicides of 2017. Earlier today, on Wednesday, July 12th, 2017, Calgary police were advised by Cochrane RCMP that a body had been recovered near the intersection of Highway 8 and Highway 22 west of Calgary. Calgary police are working collaboratively with the RCMP to determine whether the body recovered is linked to this ongoing investigation and the disappearance of Mr. Afowerk. Anyone who may have information that could assist is asked to contact the police non-emergency number at 403-266-1234, or please contact Crime Stoppers anonymously. Information can also be shared via the homicide tip line at 403-428-8877. By having another media availability today, we're hoping that more tips and public information come forward so that we can bring that information towards the investigation. And I'll take any questions that you have now.
What leads you to believe that there's a connection to the case or Afowerk's disappearance?
The one in RCMP jurisdiction?
Yes.
We had investigators that were notified of the recovery of a body early this morning. We sent investigators out to the scene. Evidence and information that was garnered at the scene leads us to believe that that the recovery of this body is likely related to the investigation into the triple murder on Monday.
Did you get any more information from his family or any texts yesterday about where he was last seen and what he was doing on Monday or the day before?
Yeah, we're continuing to put together a definitive timeline from Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon until Monday morning when the bodies were discovered in Sage Hill. Part of that is speaking to witnesses, family, producing phone records, those sort of things, and we're continuing to do that now. And one of the reasons for me coming before you today is to continue to appeal to the public that if they have any information, that they had any contact with any of the people that are involved in this that we've already identified, to please come forward and please help us continue this investigation.
And did you get a number of tips since yesterday, whether it's regarding Afowerk or the scene of the burning car near Sage Hill?
Yeah. Both media availabilities on Monday and Tuesday have garnered information with regards to this investigation. I'm not prepared to speak to exactly what that information is at this time, but I will say that we are pleased that people continue to come forward with information to assist the police in this investigation.
Does it seem like the body in Cochrane has been sort of dropped there, or was it maybe the scene of the crime? Is there any idea? Can you tell us? Are you comfortable telling us? Do you think the person was murdered close by, or?
Again, as I speak, forensic investigators are on the scene of where that body was recovered on Highway 22. I don't want to speculate right now as to where that person may have been killed and moved or had been killed at that scene.
Can you talk about the condition of that body at all? I guess what I'm wondering is, does it look like it was pulled out of a car that may have been burning at some point? Or if there's, when you talk about how you think it's probably connected, is it that kind of evidence you're looking at, or is it based on their identity?
Yeah, I appreciate your question. As you can imagine, there's certain details of this investigation that we just can't comment on in the community. There may be a time when we'll be able to speak to those details, but as of right now, we can't. I can't comment on that.
Are police still looking for Mr. Afowerk?
No, we're not.
Can we read into that?
We're not looking for him any longer.
Inspector, so if we were to ask you if the body at the traffic circle had a bag wrapped around its head, would you be able to answer that?
My answer to that question would be, I don't know the individual nuances of what's attached or not attached to that particular deceased person. I haven't been on the scene, and I haven't been notified as such.
Do you have any further information as to a relationship between all the victims and Afowerk?
Again, that forms a big part of the investigation. There may be a time when we can discuss that in this forum, but as of right now, we're unable to provide those details.
What sorts of things are you hoping, what type of information are you looking specifically for from the public?
That's a really good question, and I appreciate you asking that. We want to piece together the timeline from Sunday until Monday morning. So places of business, if somebody spoke to any one of the victims that's been identified, if anyone saw them, if anyone had a beer with them, if anybody had a coffee with them, if anyone had a meal with them, if you had any contact with these victims in any way, we would like to talk to you so that we can, again, piece together a minute-by-minute timeline as best as we can.
Is the body on Highway 8 being treated as a homicide as well?
Right now, it's being treated as a suspicious death, and that's the reason why we've sent our crime scene people out there to work in conjunction with the medical examiner's office.
Why starting Sunday? Why is Sunday significant beginning to the timeline?
Well, it's the evening that leads up to the discovery of the 3 bodies in the car. There's also some other investigative reasons why we are mostly concerned with from Sunday afternoon until Monday morning. Those investigative reasons, as you can imagine, I can't get into in this forum.
Have you gained any information from that photograph you released yesterday of where that photograph was actually taken? Have you gained any of that information yet?
You're talking about the one that was pixelated? Mm-hmm. So we released that photograph primarily because that photo was posted at 3 a.m. on the Monday, about 3.5 hours before those bodies were discovered. At the time, we felt that it was closely related to the investigation. We had since learned through different investigative avenues that picture was actually taken about a year prior to Monday, and was just happened to be posted for whatever reason in the hours before that person's death.
Have you had much cooperation from other family members or friends of some of these victims?
We've spoken to a lot of family members and friends, and we are getting a lot of cooperation from them. And I just want to add as well that this is a very, very difficult time for 4 families in Calgary and their friends, and they certainly have they are in the thoughts of many of our investigators.
Do you know when the autopsy is scheduled for this body that was found this morning?
I believe autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow morning.